Salt is not just a seasoning, it is a spiritual weapon that can change your energy, protect your space, and cleanse your mind of invisible burdens. Today, you're going to discover how to use it with real intention. Stay until the end to learn the most powerful rituals no one ever taught you. It's not an esoteric relic. Asterisk, it's not a secret buried by alchemists. It's not a talisman reserved for the initiated. It's salt, that white crystal resting quietly in the kitchen, ignored, underestimated. Asterisk, yet charged with an ancestral power that for centuries has been used by cultures around the world as a shield, a barrier, a purifier. While the system overwhelms you with noise, productivity, and anxiety, silent tools remain active, resisting, reminding us that ways still exist to reconnect with who we essentially are. Asterisk, salt doesn't just season, it preserves, it protects, it absorbs, it transmutes. It needs no adornment. It requires no belief. Asterisk, its power operates on a subtler level, the energetic field, the plane where dense charges accumulate, charges no one sees but everyone carries. It's the same place where unspoken guilt lives, normalized fear settles, and exhaustion that's no longer questioned takes root. And that's where salt acts, with brutal simplicity. Asterisk, entire civilizations used it as currency, not for its flavor, but for its value. Because where there is salt, there is no decay, neither of the body nor of the soul. The Egyptians used it in mummification, not out of superstition, but understanding. They knew the body had to remain intact to cross to the other side. Salt sealed that passage. It protected it. In Hebrew tradition, no offering was valid without salt. This wasn't a liturgical detail. It was a spiritual requirement, because without purity, there is no connection. And without connection, every covenant is false. Asterisk, in ancient Rome, salt was scattered before opening a shop or inhabiting a house, not out of habit, but energetic strategy. They knew the invisible also contaminates. Not everything that enters through the door can be seen. That's why salt, a minimal gesture with a profound impact. Today these practices persist, camouflaged as superstition, mocked by modernity. Yet they still work because energy doesn't need explanations. It simply moves. Asterisk, salt is not only matter, it is vibration. It is crystalline structure. It is living geometry interacting with what you carry inside. It absorbs what you never said, what you never cried, what weighs on you without knowing why. It works because it's designed to, because within its composition there is order, and where there is order, chaos cannot remain. Asterisk, the system trained us to ignore what is essential. It taught us to search outside for what was always within reach. The body, that forgotten territory, knows this too. Made of water and minerals, it carries the same salt found in the oceans within it. This is no coincidence. It's biological memory, a bond with the earth, a bridge between the physical and the invisible. That's why when you immerse yourself in a salt bath after a devastating day, you're not just washing sweat or relaxing muscles, you're releasing emotional residue, cutting energetic ties you didn't even know you were carrying. Asterisk, and you feel it not because it's magical, but because it's real. Your field changes, your breath lightens, your thoughts settle. That's the logic of the subtle. It doesn't shout, it doesn't demand attention, but it transforms, inside and out. Asterisk, ancient shamans understood this. They surrounded their spaces with salt before invoking any force. They traced circles of containment, because not everything should enter, not everything should cross. Salt marked the boundary, the vibrational frontier. There was no spectacle in those rituals, only respect, caution, wisdom embodied in simplicity. Asterisk, in Hermeticism, salt represented fixed matter, the dense, that which needed to be transmuted to reach a higher state. It wasn't about denying the body, but purify it, elevating it, turning it into a channel rather than a prison. The alchemist didn't seek power, he sought integrity, and salt was part of that process, part of the body, part of the soul. Asterisk, in the modern world, that dimension was lost, dissolved among pixels, overfilled schedules, and routines that don't allow breathing. But it's still there, available, active, because salt doesn't expire. It doesn't rust. It doesn't die. It waits. Asterisk, and when used consciously, it acts. It absorbs what is excess, what harms, what intoxicates, whether in a heavy space, a wounded body, or a restless mind. Salt responds. It does so when placed in the corners of a room, scattered at the threshold of a door, or resting beneath the bed like a silent trench that protects during sleep. It doesn't require complex rituals, only clear intention. Asterisk, the body thanks it. Energy recognizes it. The environment is purified, because salt doesn't negotiate with darkness. It doesn't fight it, it dissolves it. No one needs to know you used it. There's no need to announce it. Salt doesn't seek validation to function. Simply place it in a glass of water at the center of your home and let it work in silence. Within 24 hours, the crystal will have absorbed what you couldn't name. The air shifts, the pressure lifts, the space breathes differently. That's what a real tool does. It acts without asking permission. Asterisk, this is not decoration. It's not a spiritual trend. It's an ancestral necessity. When everything outside becomes polluted with noise, symbolic violence, and pressure disguised as success, protecting your inner space becomes a political act, an act of disobedience. And salt exists for that purpose, to restore what the modern world keeps breaking. Asterisk, the system doesn't want you cleansed, it wants you adapted. It wants you to normalize exhaustion, irritability, insomnia, to believe it's just part of life, the price of progress. That's why using salt as an energetic cleansing tool ain't merely spiritual, it's a declaration, a way of saying enough, a way of reclaiming control over what you can still transform. Asterisk, no sacred ceremony is required. All you need is a container, some sea salt, and the firm decision to cut away what contaminates you from within. You can carry it with you in a small cloth pouch, in your pocket, under your pillow. This isn't superstition, it's strategy. If the body is territory, it needs defense. Asterisk, salt doesn't promise miracles. It doesn't change the external world, but it strengthens the internal one. And in times like these, that is revolution. Asterisk, when every day you carry the weight of a world that demands more than you can give, simply stopping cleansing your field, restoring your vibration is resistance. It's protecting what remains intact. Asterisk, there are rituals for everything. Baths after conflict, cleansings after draining visits, protective circles before meditation. But beyond how, there is why, intention, purpose. Salt responds to that, to the energy you project when you use it. It's not a passive object. It's a catalyst. It works because it aligns with who we are. A body made of water, a soul carrying burdens that aren't its own, an existence that must be purified to feel again, to perceive, to remember. Asterisk, when the environment becomes uninhabitable, the invisible begins to matter, and there is salt without promises, without spectacle, doing what it has always done: cleanse, protect, transform. Because some battles are not fought with words, they're won in silence, from within, from what is simple, from what is real. Asterisk, now you know. Salt is not simple or decorative. It is defense, cleansing, and inner power. Like the video, if it helped you, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming, and comment if you're going to apply it. Subscribe now. ChatGPT puede cometer errors. Considera verificar la información importante. Ver preferencias de cookies.